Okay, I have started the recording. So here I am sharing this link daily, right? This GitHub link. So inside this link, you will find all these folders. The folders which are present inside this folder, like day one, day two, day three, day four, day five softwares. You can find all those folders here. So depending upon your need, you can choose any one folder and you can have a look at all the programs which we have discussed in previous classes. So I hope you all know about this. And by the way, I am sharing that link daily after completion of session. And here, first, let me create a new file. So, fine. Let us before creating a new file here, let us see how to create an account in HackerRank. And as you already know, I am recording this session. So, if you have any doubts, you can later check out the recorded videos in YouTube. And around five people have raised their hands. If you have any doubts, you can let me know. I have enabled the chat section. Within 1 minute, I am going to disable that. The time is already 7:10. So video is not. Yes, yes, Sekar, I am going to start. Screen is not visible. It is clearly visible, I think. Anyone facing the same problem with screen? Just let me know. It is visible, right? Someone says my voice is not audible. Just let me know once again whether I am clearly audible and my screen is visible or not. Loud and clear. No, it's clear. Okay, thank you. Thank you for confirming. Okay, fine, guys. Thank you. Thank you. So, yes. So, yes, thank you to all. I have disabled the chat section. Now let us see how to create an account in HackerRank. So first go to Google and search for HackerRank and enter into this first website. If you need this, I'll share this link in WhatsApp also, hackerrank.com. So if you have already an account in HackerRank, then you can easily log in and you can start practicing. But for beginners who don't have account in HackerRank, you people follow my steps. So first you need to click on sign up. So here you need to choose. I am here to practice and prepare. We are not here to hire people, right? We are here to practice programs. So you need to choose the second option, and after that you need to click on create account. So here you need to enter your first name. After that you need to enter your email ID, and finally you need to enter your password. So I am going to give some random. So fine, I'll give here name as Arshad. Okay, and my email ID is this is my temporary email ID and this will be my passport. So, and next you need to click on I agree the terms of HackerRank and you need to click on create an account. What is wrong here? Just let me give the name once again. Actually, I have a lot of accounts in HackerRank, so that's why I am facing this issue. Why is this create an account button disabled? So fine. So the thing is, first you need to enter your name, email ID, and password. After that, or else you can directly sign in with Google. Within one click, you can directly sign in with Google. So here, choose your Google account. Um, After that, if you have enabled two-step verification, then you need to give access from your mobile. I'm going to give access to HackerRank. So once you verify from the mobile, then automatically you will be logged in into a HackerRank account. And here you need to accept the terms and conditions. After that, you need to answer to these basic questions. So I am here to prepare for job interviews, and I am a student. And if you are a working professional, then you can choose it. So I will graduate in here. You need to choose your graduation year. I am going to select 2023. You need to choose your graduation year. It may be 2024 or 2025. So I have my interview within a month. So if you need emails from HackerRank, then you can check this box. This is not mandatory, and you need to click on Let's Go. So if you want to enable dark mode, then you can turn on. Otherwise, you can simply click on Not Now. So after creation of your account, this is the basic interface you will get in HackerRank. So what is the use of this HackerRank means here, they will provide us a lot of problems. And not only in Python, we can solve problems in data structures, C programming, C++, Java, Python, SQL database, and we need to do, we can do functional programming, and we can practice regular expressions also. So now the thing which we are going to concentrate is about Python only. So my point is here they will provide lot of problems to us, and you can simply solve those problems, and by solving those problems you will get some stars and badges. So let me show my HackerRank account. Hmm. So this is my HackerRank account. If you can see my profile here, so this is my profile. So if you complete solving problems, then you will get stars like this, and also you can do certifications from HackerRank. And you can see here, this is my Python verified certificate from HackerRank. You will get certificates like this. So the thing is, and also the one more advantage is here in HackerRank, they will provide some auto-complete suggestions while coding. So I will show you that. That's the advantage of HackerRank. In case of Lead Code and other platforms, you need to purchase their subscriptions to get auto-complete suggestions. Whereas in HackerRank, we can get that freely. So here you can choose Python, and from here you can start solving problems. So arithmetic operators, we know we have discussed about arithmetic operators, right? So if I click on solve challenge here, then let me wait for a minute. It is loading, and you can see here this is our program. This is our problem, and here we need to write our code. So here we don't know what is the meaning of if name equal to main, and we haven't discussed about this input function in Python. So we are going to discuss about this thing later. But here, just ignore these lines. The point is, user will give some user HackerRank will give some inputs like the values to variable A and B, and we need to perform some operations according to this problem. First, you need to read the task. Let me zoom in a little bit. I hope you all can see clearly now. So first read the question. The provider subcode reads two integers. Okay, this two lines are used to read two integers from user. The next thing is the first line contains sum of two numbers. The second line contains difference of two numbers. The third line contains product of two numbers. So for example, if the value of A is 3 and the value of B is 5 means we need to get output like this. So the first thing is addition of A and B. The second one is subtraction of A and B. And the third one is multiplication of A and B. So 3 plus 5 is 8, 3 minus 5 is minus 2, and 3 into 5 is 15. So here we need to write a program to find addition, subtraction, and multiplication of numbers. So we have our values are stored in A and B. So how can we do that? So first thing is we need to print A plus B. So for addition we use plus operator. Similarly for subtraction we are going to use minus operator. And finally for multiplication I am going to use star operator, A into B. So we have discussed these things in arithmetic operators, right? So like this, first you need to read the question, then you need to check out the input, you need to check out the example, and you need to see what output they are expecting in the question. So after that, according to that, you need to write a program. And first, to check whether our program is executing properly or not, we need to click on run code button here. In the bottom, you can find this run code button. So you can see here our sample test case has passed. I am getting So we haven't got any errors here. So if our sample test cases are passing, then we can simply click on submit code button. So all the available test cases are passed and we have successfully submitted this program. So you can say congratulations, you solved this challenge. So this is the thing about HackerRank. This is how you need to use. And also, after completion of some topics in Python programming language, I will solve some more problems in HackerRanks. And also, I want you to clearly understand how this HackerRank works. So the point is, you should not feel any difficulty in solving problems in HackerRank. So I am going to solve some more problems also. After that, finally, I will start giving you assignments. From HackerRank, I am going to give you questions. You need to solve those questions. And regarding certification, a lot of people are following recorded sessions, right? So we need to provide certificates for them also. So actually, the thing is, I am on weekly basis. I am going to share some HackerRank links to you in WhatsApp group. You need to solve those problems. So once you solve all those problems clearly means I will get your details, your score, everything. So depending upon your score and depending upon your participation in this hacker rank problems, I am going to provide you certificate. So let me check waiting room once. So fine, there's no one in waiting room. Three people have raised their hand. I don't know what's their issue. Okay. Fine. I will share this hacker rank link also. So this is how you need to create your account. And first you need to read the problem. You need to check out sample input and output. And after that you need to understand the problem. Then you need to start solving the problem. These are the steps. So let me close this now. We are done with the hacker rank part. And now, so we have completed operators, right? So in our today's session, we are going to discuss about list. So here I am going to create a file named as list.py. Let me zoom in a little bit. I am going to select my interpreter, which is Python 3.11.4. And today we are going to discuss about lists in Python. So we have discussed about data types, right? We have discussed about integer, string, boolean, and floating point numbers. Now, if I want to store multiple values in a single variable, how can I do that? For example, like this. Here, now the variable name is A, and I need to store multiple values. I need to store 10, 20, 50, 60. I need to store multiple values like this in a single variable. How can I do that? It is not possible. I can only store one value in a variable. Otherwise, I will get an error. So, for example, you can see here, if I execute this program, then I will get a syntax error. Now, is there any way to store multiple values in a single variable? So the answer is yes. For that, we can use list. So list is a data type in Python, and also it is a data structure. It helps us to store and organize data in a variable. So, so the main things which you need to remember regarding lists are enclosed or represented using square braces. The second thing is the elements inside list are separated by comma. And the next thing is I am going to explain each and every point, so don't worry about that. The next thing is lists are heterogeneous, which means we can store different types of data inside list. So yes, now I have just told you that with the help of list, I can store multiple values in a single variable. So the first thing in list is these lists are represented using square braces in Python programming language. The syntax for list is syntax. So first thing is variable name, and we will use this equal to assignment operators for assigning list to this variable. And we use square braces. These are square braces. We all know this, right? These are square braces, and we use these square braces for representing a list in Python. So inside the square braces, we will give multiple elements like element one, element two, element three, and one more thing is these elements are separated using commas. So the first thing is lists are represented using square braces, and the elements inside list are separated by comma. So let us see this. So first thing is let me give here. So now my variable name is A, and I know that lists are represented using square braces. I have created, so here I have created empty list. If I say print A, and you can see here I got output as some empty list. There are no elements present inside this list. So here now my point is I need to store multiple elements in a single variable, right? So here I can store 10, comma 20, comma 30, comma 40. Like this, I can store multiple variables. If I run this program once again, then you can see here in my terminal, I got output as 20, 10, 20, 30, and 40. So like this, we can store multiple elements inside a list. And also the one more thing is the elements are separated using commas. You can see here I am using a comma to separate elements here. So we have seen the first 2 points. Lists are represented using square braces, and the elements inside a list are separated by comma. Now, what is this third point? Lists are heterogeneous. What is meant by heterogeneous? We have discussed about data types like integer, float, strings, and boolean. So I'm explaining that right now. Let me tell one thing to people who already know Java. In case of Java, we use arrays, and also in C programming, we use arrays, right? In case of arrays, we are not allowed to store different data types inside a single array. So we cannot store integer, float, and strings inside a single array in C programming language. Whereas in case of Python, we can store different data types inside a single list. I can store here a string also. Similarly, I can store here a floating point number, and also I can store here a boolean value. If I run this program once again, then you can see here my program is getting executed without any errors. So the point is heterogeneous means we can store different data types inside a list. In case of C and in case of C programming language, the arrays are uh, homogeneous. We can store only one data type inside a list, inside an array. In case of Python, we don't use the concept of arrays. For using arrays, we will import some modules like NumPy. So, anyways, don't worry about all those things now. Now we are discussing about lists. So, in the list, we can store multiple elements, and all those elements are separated by commas. And also, we can store elements of different data types. I can store string, integer, floating point number, and also a Boolean value. So, this is the main thing about lists in Python. And also, along with this, we have some extra features like Python programming provides us some functions in list. So actually, there are a lot of functions in list. Among them, we use some of the functions most of the time. Like, so let me comment out line number 12. Here we have created a list. And also one more thing, let me show you this. If I say print type of A, we know that this type function, it is an inbuilt function, and it will return the data type of a variable. So here the type of a should be list, right? So let us check that. If I run this program, then you can see here I got output as class list, which means variable a is storing list. So let me comment out line number 14 also. And now let us see what are some of the functions available in list. So first, what is meant by a function? In simple terms, I can say that function is used to do a specific task. We can solve something. I mean, it is used to do a specific task. That's it. Functions is a separate concept in Python. We will discuss that in upcoming days. But in our Python, we have some inbuilt functions. Like we have seen that type is a function and print is a function. Like similarly, for lists also we have some inbuilt functions. So what are they? The first one is append. So this append function is used to add element to list, add element to the end of the list. So let me explain it. If I say a, here my list name is a, right? If I say a dot append, so this is the syntax for using functions. First, we need the syntax for functions is, let me say syntax. So first variable name, then we need to use this dot and followed by function name, or we can call it as method also. And we need to enclose that within parentheses. We need to use this parenthesis here. So let us see how to use this append function here. So you know that our list name is A, and if I say A dot, then you can see here I got some suggestions here. So these are all the functions which are available in list. So if I say A dot append, and this append will take one argument. Exactly, this will take one argument. If I say A dot append of 10, and if I run this program, nothing will happen because I am not printing A here, right? So let me print here A. And also let me uncomment line number 12 so that you can clearly see the difference. So if I run this program, then you can see here for line number 12, I got output as 10, 20, 30, 40 string 10.632. So these are the elements which are available in my list. But for line number 22, you can see here I am adding an extra element which is 10 at the end of the list. So this is what I have told you here. Append function is used to add element to the end of the list. So let me change this 10 to 900. If I run this program once again, then you can see here 900 has been added to the list. Similarly, if I say a dot append one more string like Python, and if I run this program once again, then you can see here first we have added 900 and after that we have added Python string to our list. So this is one function which is append. This is used to add element to the end of the list. So you need to remember this thing. And the next important function is extend. This is used to add multiple elements to list. In case of append, we can add only one element at a time. For example, here if I say 900 comma list, so here I am trying to add two elements. If I run this program, then you can see here I got an error. I can read this error. List.append takes exactly one argument but two given. So I am getting this type error. So here the point is we can append only one element to the list at a time. So in case if I want to add multiple elements to a list, then I can use this extend function. So let us see how to use this extend function. So a dot extend. I am getting auto suggestions here. So this is called as auto complete suggestions. Like these suggestions, you will get in hacker rank also. So that's what I have told you just before. So that's one more advantage of hacker rank. There we will get auto complete suggestions, which will be helpful during programming. So here the point is this extend function will not take individual elements like this. For example, here if I say, let me give a floating point number here as 50.22, and if I try to print a, then you can see here I got output as a float object is not equal. Here the point is we are not allowed to give single values like this. In case of append function, we will give single values like this. Whereas in case of extend function, we need to give another list. So we need to give another list like this. So for example, now I want to add multiple elements like Avanto Technology, Python classes. So here I am adding four strings. So if I run this program, then you can see here these four elements are added to the list. So up to Python, I am adding using append function. So from the element Aavanto to from the element classes, these four elements I am adding using extend function. So this is the advantage of extend function. Here, this is used to add multiple elements to a list, and also we need to make sure that we are passing arguments to this list. We are passing a list argument to this extend function. So what does that mean? I cannot give individual elements like this. I cannot simply give 900 or Python. So I need to give a list here. So that's the thing. Also, we can do like this. So for example, I can create a new list here named B, and I can cut this, and if I paste this here, now we know that B is another list, and simply I can say a dot extend B. And if I run this program, then you can say I will get the same output. And in the below line, if I print B, then I will get the four elements, which are Aavanto Technology Python classes. So the point here is, uh, it is not mandatory to pass the list inside function. So I can assign the list to a variable, and I can use that variable name also inside a function. And also one more thing is, we can use this plus operator in loop. So this plus is similar to extend. So what does that mean? So let me comment line number 27 and line number 28. So here I am declaring a new list which is Avanto Technology Python classes. So the point is there are four elements inside this list B, and there are some elements inside list A. Now I can say C equal to A plus B, and if I print C, then you can see here we are adding two lists. So the instead of using a dot extend b, we can use this plus operator also. They both do the same job. You can use like this also, a plus equal to b. We know the meaning of this, right? So a equal to a plus b. So if I print a, then you can see here I got the same output. So instead of using extend function, we can use this plus operator also. This will add the elements present inside to list. So the list A has elements from 10 to Python, and the list B has elements from Avanto to classes. So I am adding these two lists, and I am assigning the uh, concatenated list to the variable A. So you can see here a plus equal to b means here I am adding the elements of list A and elements of list B, and I am assigning the result again to the variable A. So here I am printing the value of A. I got this output. So I hope you understood my point. Append function is used to add single element. Extend function is used to add multiple elements in a list, and in the place of extend function we can use this plus operator also. This will also do the same job. This plus operator is also used to add elements present inside lists. So it is better to use extend because this will look more meaningful. Some people might confuse with this plus operator, so you can use this extend only. So the next thing is, let me comment line number 33. Let me comment all the print statements. So fine. The next function is insert. This is used to insert an element inside a list. So in case of append and extend, I am adding elements at the end of the list. So if in case I am having this requirement, after the value 10, I need to add one more string here. In between 10 and 20, I need to add one more string. So what can I do? So for this, I can use insert function. So this insert function is used to insert an element inside a list at specific position. So so we have started discussing about list functions, right? Before this, I need to complete one more thing. Okay, fine. So we know how to use append function and insert function, right? So just give me a second. Okay, fine. No issues. Now let me check the waiting room once. Okay, no one's in waiting room. Fine. So here we have assigned the list to the variable A. Here there is a concept called indexing and slicing. We need to complete this concept before understanding the working of insert function. So let us learn about indexing and slicing. Index. What is meant by index numbers? So here index numbers are used to access specific element from a list. So in Python programming language, here I am assigning a list to the variable. Automatically, our Python will give a specific index number to each and every element. So these index numbers start from 0 and they will go up to the end length of the list. So here the length of my list is I am having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am having 7 elements, right? So here my index numbers start from 0 and end at length of list minus 1. So here my point is we can access each and every single element from a list using these index numbers. So how can we do that exactly? Let me show you. So here if I say print a of 0, then let me comment line number 12 also. So you can see here I got output as 10. So what is happening here? I am trying to access the element which is present at the position 0. So 10 is present in the position 0, 20 is in the position 1, and similarly this 2, the last element is in the position 6. The length of the list is 7, right? Which means there are 7 elements inside this list. So the last element can be accessed using the index number 6. So in case of my list A, the index number starts from 0 and it will end at 6. So with the help of these index numbers, I can access each and every element from a list. And also the syntax for accessing elements using index number is first we need to use list name followed by square braces. We need to mention square braces after list name, and inside this square braces, we need to mention index number. That's what I am doing here. My list name is A. After that, I have used square braces. Inside my square braces, I have specified my index number, which is 0. So I got output as 10. If I change my index number to 2, then you can see here I got output as 30. So what is happening here? So index number of 10 is 0, 20 is 1, and 30 is 2. Here I am accessing the index number 2. So I got output as 30. So indexing is used to access a specific element from a list. So this is the concept about index numbers and indexing in Python. So it can be accessed by list name followed by square braces, and inside square braces we need to mention the index number. If I say a of 6 and if I run this program, then you can see here I got output as 2. Now what will happen if I say a of 7? 6 is my last index number, right? If I say a of 7, I will get an error. You can see here I got index error, list index out of range, which is saying that the index number which you have mentioned is not available. So we are not allowed to use the index numbers greater than the length of the list minus 1. So I can use up to 6 in case of my list A. If you have more elements, then you can use more index numbers. So here the main thing which you should remember is each and every element present inside list will have an index number, and those index numbers will start from 0 and it will end at length of list minus 1. And we can access any element from a list using that index number. And we know that the syntax is we need to mention the list name followed by square braces, and inside square braces we need to mention index number. So this is how we will access specific element from a list using index numbers. So I hope you clearly understand the concept of indexing. And also in Python, we have one more thing called as negative indexing. So don't get confused. You can, after completion of this class, you can simply check out this program file. Here I am mentioning simple definitions also. Just read these definitions and you will definitely remember these concepts. These are not complex concepts. These are very easy. So let me explain about negative index numbers. So now what are these negative index numbers? We have seen about positive index numbers, right? So the positive index number starts from 0 and it will end at length of list minus 1. So in case of Python, we have an extra concept called as negative indexing. Here the point is we can assign negative, we can use negative index numbers also. So these negative index numbers starts from minus 1. So if I say a of minus 1, I will get the last element from the list. Similarly, if I say a of minus 2, I will get the element which is before last element. So it will go in reverse order. Let me explain this with an example. So I will copy the same list here. I will comment this list also. So here the point is my index numbers will be like this. Negative, to be more specific, my negative index numbers. So my negative index numbers are like this. Mhm. So let me remove these numbers. So here the point is I want to make sure the alignment correctly. So here my negative index number starts from minus 1. So minus 1, comma, minus 2, comma, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. So this is how my negative index numbers are assigned to the elements inside a list. So this is how Python will assign negative index numbers to a list. So for example, if I say a of my list name is a, right? So if I say a of minus 1, I will get output as 2. If I say a of minus 2, I will get output as 10.63. If I say a of minus 3, I will get output as string. So if I say a of minus 7, I will get output as 10. So I hope you understood my point here. So not only positive index numbers, we can also access elements inside a list using negative index numbers. We can check out this. If I say a of minus 1, you can see here I got output as true. Similarly, if I say a of minus 6, I will get output as 20. So you can see here I got output as 20. So the main thing which you should remember is negative index number starts from the last of the list. It goes like this: minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Whereas in case of positive index number, it starts from the beginning of the list. So let me mention that one also so that I won't feel any inconvenience during referring this file. So positive index numbers. This is my list. Positive index numbers. So it starts from 0, comma 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5, comma 6. So this is how positive index numbers are assigned to the list, and this is how the negative index numbers are assigned to a list. So we can use either positive index numbers or negative index number. It totally depends upon us. So with the help of these index numbers, I can access a specific element from a list. So that's the point here. Now here I have told you one more thing also, slicing. So what is meant by slicing now? We have discussed about indexing and index numbers. So what is this slicing? Let us discuss about slicing now. So fine. Here with the help of index numbers, I can access any one element from a list. In case if I want to access multiple elements at the same time inside a list, what can I do? I can use slicing concept here. For example, from the list A, I want to access elements 20, 30, 40. I want to access these three elements from the list A. So what can I do? I can use slicing. How can I do that exactly? So let me give you the basic definition here. Slicing is used to access multiple elements from a list. So here the syntax is list name followed by square braces, and inside these square braces we need to mention our starting index number, and we need to use colon followed by ending index number. I'll explain this clearly. So what is happening here? For example, here from the list A, I need to access elements 10, 20. I need to access elements 20, 30, and 40. I need to access these three elements. So for that, I need to use slicing concept. The syntax is similar to indexing, where I need to use list name followed by square braces. In case of indexing, we just mention a specific index number to access a single element. Here we are trying to access multiple elements, right? So in case of slicing, we need to mention the starting index number from where we want to access and ending index number uh, to to uh, to show our interpreter where to stop. So let me explain this bit again. So here I want to access element 20 to 40, right? So the index number of element 20 is 1 and the index number of element 40 is 3. So I want to access elements from index number 1 to 3. So here I want to access elements from index number 1 to 3. So here the point is I need to mention 4. And first let me use 3 only. I will tell you, but if I want to access elements up to 40, then I need to specify the index number 4. I will explain that why we need to do like that. And the another thing is according to syntax, we need to separate starting index number and ending index number with a colon. So if I mention a colon here, then you can see here I am not getting any error. If I run this program, I will get output as 20 and 30. So what is happening here? I am accessing elements from index number 1 and until index number 3. So what are the elements which are stored in index number 1, 20, and in index number 2, 30 is stored, and until index number 3 I am accessing. I am not accessing the element which is stored in index number 3. Clear to my first listen to my words clearly just for a few minutes. So here the point is I am not accessing uh, element which is stored in index number 3. I am accessing elements until index number 3. So according to the indexing concept, I am starting from index number 1 and I am accessing elements until index number 3. So I got output as 20 and 30. In case if I need 40 also, then I need to specify 4 here. Now if I run this program, then you can see here I got output as 20, 30, and 40. So here I am accessing elements from index number 1 and I am going until index number 4, which means I will get output as 20, 30, and 40. I won't get the output. I won't get string in my output. So I hope you all understood this point. So this is the concept of slicing. So in case of slicing, we can access multiple elements from a single list. So the concept is we need to use the list name, and after that we need to specify square braces. Inside square braces, we need to mention our starting index number followed by colon and ending index number. So it will start giving us elements from the starting index number and it goes until the ending index number. It won't return the value which is stored in ending index number. So that's what happening here. It is starting from 1. That's why it gave me output as 20, 30, and 40. It is going until 4. So, but it won't give the value which is stored in index number 4. So I will get output as 20, 30, and 40. For example, if I need to access elements from 40 to 10.63, then I need to start my index number from 3. I need to end at 6. So if I say A 3 colon 6, and you can see here I got output as 40 string and 10.63. So if I want to access a single element from a list, I will use index numbers. And if I want to access multiple elements from a list, I will use the concept of slicing. So what will happen if I won't mention any ending index number? So if I run this program, you can see here it will simply perform slicing until the end of the list. So the last element inside our list is true, right? You can see here the last element present inside our list is true. So if I don't mention any ending index number, then it will start from the starting index number which I have mentioned 3 there, and it will start from 3 and it will go until the end of the list. Similarly, here if I mention ending index number as 4, and if I won't mention any starting index number, then it will start slicing from the beginning of the list. So here the first element is 10, and here I am mentioning my ending index number as 4, right? So if I mention ending index number as 4, so the fourth element is string. So it will start from 10 and it will end at 40. It will go until 4. It won't print the value stored inside 4. So it will go until 4. So I will get output as 10, 20, 30, 40. So let me run this program. You can see here I got output in my terminal as 10, 20, 30, 40. Now what will happen if I won't mention starting index number and ending index number? So if I run this program, you can simply check. I will get all the elements. I will get all the elements which are present inside a list as my output. So in order to access specific set of elements, we need to mention valid index numbers. So in case if I use wrong index numbers uh, like this, then I will get an error. So I will get an empty list. So these index numbers are invalid, right? So this is the concept of indexing. If I sorry, this is the concept of slicing. So in case of slicing, we can access multiple elements from a single list. So now let us discuss about this insert function. So before discussing about insert function, I just want to know, do you have any doubts regarding indexing and slicing? I have enabled chat section. You can send messages now. If you have any confusion in list, you can let me know. Okay, fine. I hope you all are actively listening the classes. Okay, still I haven't explained you insert function. If you are listening to my words carefully, then you will know that. Just now I told that before discussing about insert function, if you have any doubts in indexing and slicing, let me know. Okay, I have disabled the chat section. So before discussing about insert function, some people are asking doubts regarding negative indexing and slicing. So I will quickly explain this once again. Slicing is used to access multiple elements from a list. For example, this is my list A. If I want to access more elements, more than one element from this list, I need to use the concept of slicing. And for that, the syntax is list name followed by square braces. Inside square braces, I need to mention my starting index number and ending index number. And also I need to separate this starting index number and ending index number with a colon. So I hope you are good at syntax now. Now here, if I want to access elements from 20 to 30, I know that the index number of element 20 is 1, right? And the index number of element 40 is 3. So if I want to access elements from 1 to 3, then I need to mention 1 to 4 in slicing. So here I need to mention the ending index number as 4, because in Python, the slicing will now start from element from index number 1, and it will go until index number 4. So as it is going until index number 4, I will get output till 40. So if you want to access for up to index number 3, then you need to mention 4. So that's the point. You need to add plus 1 there. If you say 1 colon 3, then you will get output as 20 comma 30, because it starts from 1 until 3. So now if I want to access from 20 to 40, I need to say 1 colon 4. So it starts from 1 and go until 4. So I will get output until 3. Okay, I hope you understood slicing now. And about negative index numbers, I have told you that positive index number starts from 0 and it will end at length of list minus 1. Whereas in case of negative index numbers, it starts from end of the list. So I have clearly mentioned here. So it starts like this: minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So if I want to access the last element from the list, I can say a of minus 1. Then I will get lost value from the list. So positive index number starts from the beginning of the list and it starts from 0. And negative index number starts from the end of the list and it starts with minus 1, and it goes until the end of the list. Like this, it goes like this: minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So this is the concept of negative indexing and slicing. So now let us discuss about insert function. We know that append function is used to add single element inside a list, and extend function is used to add multiple elements in a list. Now what is this insert function? So you can see here, in case of append and extend function, if we are using this, then our elements are, I mean, the elements are automatically adding at the end of the list. So once again, if I print a here, and let me comment the above print statements, and if I run this program, then you can see here automatically the elements are getting added at the end of the list. I don't want like this. I want to add element in a particular position. For example, I want to add a new element after 10. So for that I can use insert function. So let me copy this list once again, so that I don't have to go upside, go upwards for each and every time to show that list. So here we are discussing about insert function. We know the syntax: list name, after that we need to mention dot, then we need to mention function name, after that we need to use parenthesis. Now for example, here this is my list: 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 and until 2. I am having some elements inside my list, and after this first element, after 10, I need to add some value. So I want to add 500. After 10, I want to add 500. So for that, I need to mention the value which I want to add. Here I want to add 500, and after that we need to mention at which index position I want to add. I want to add at position 1. So if I print A, sorry, I'm sorry, I'm discussing about insert function here, not index. So if I run this program, then you can see here I got 500 after 10. So here the thing is A dot insert. First you need to specify at which index number you want to add. Here I want to add at index number 1. So here in index number 1, I am already having element 20. but in I don't want 20 here. I want another element. I need to add another element in index number one. So inside insert function, first I need to specify the index number, and after that I need to specify the value or element which I need to add. So here you can see I am using index number one, which means at index position one, add this number 500. That's what I am telling my Python interpreter to do. With the help of insert function, I am saying that at the index number one, add the element 500. So if I run this program, then you can see here I got output as 10 comma 500 comma 20. Now the index number of 20 is changed to 2. Previously the index number of 20 is 1, but now the index number of 20 is changed to 2, and we have inserted new element in the middle of the list. So in case if you want to insert an element in the middle of the list, we use this insert function, and the syntax for that is, first we need to specify the index number. After that, we need to mention comma, and after comma, we need to specify the value. So, for example, let us see one more example. If I say insert, so here I want to insert. So now I want to insert element 900. I want to insert element 900. So I have mentioned my value here, and before mentioning element, I need to specify index number. So I want to insert 900 at index position 0. Now if I run this program, the first element of the list will be 900, because at index number 0, we are inserting value 900. So the output will be 900, 10, 520, like that. So you can check out the output here, 900, 10, 500, because I am adding 900 at index number 0. Now the index number of 10 is changed to 1. You can check that also. If I say print a of 1, as I am inserting 900 at index number 0, so the index number of 10 is now changed to 1. If I run this program, then you can see here I got output as 10, because now the index number of 10 is 1. And if I say a of 0, of course I am going to get 900 as output. And similarly, if I say a of 3, I will get output as 20, because at index number 2, we are inserting. Uh, so, okay, before inserting the element at 0, I am inserting this, right? So, so in case here, no, let me remove this line number 64 and let me run this program. You can see here I got output as 30. Now, if I want to insert element 500 after 10, then use, I need to change my index number. So after element 10, I need to add another element. So that's my thing. So I need to add one more element after element 10. And the element which I want to add is 6000. So we know that the index number of 10 is 0 initially. And after 10, I need to add one more element. For that, I need to use index number 1. But before this, I am inserting 900 at index number 0. So 900 will come here in the list. So if I want to add element after 10, here I need to mention index number as 2, because the index number of 10 is now 1. I want to add element after 10, right? So I need to change the index number to 2. So initially 900 is not in the list. So if I run this program, then you can see here, I got my required output. First I am having 900, and after element 10, I got the number 6000. So this is the concept of insert function. With the help of insert function, we can insert element at a specific position inside a list. And we need to make sure that we are using correct index numbers or not. Otherwise, we won't get our desired output. So this is about the insert function. And there is one more function called clear. If I say a dot clear, and if I try to print a, if I run this program, then you can see here I got output as empty list, because this clear function will delete all the elements from list. And clear function will remove all elements from list. So let me comment out this clear. function. So we know that the clear function will remove all elements from list, and we have elements like pop. So this pop function will delete the element which is present at the end of the list. So pop function will delete one element from the end of the list. So here I am printing the list A before performing pop operation, and after performing pop operation I am printing the list A again. So if I run this program now, you can check here. So you can see here, for the line number 73, I got output and I got entire list in my output. Whereas in case of line number 75, you can see here the last element has been deleted from the list. So this pop function will delete last element from the list. So if you want to delete last element from the list, then we can use pop function. So let me comment out this. And the next function is index. If I say a dot index of 10, okay. Now I have told you that for each and every element there will be an index number in list. So if I want to know the index number of a specific element, then I can use this index function. So index function is used to find the index number of an element. So if I print list A, let me run this program. You can see here, this is my list. I am having elements here as 900, 10, 600. For example, if I want to find out the index number of element 10, I can use index function. If I say a dot index of 10, I am mentioning the element 10 here. So you can see here, I got output as 1 because the index number of element 10 is 1, right? So I got output as 1. So if we want to find out index number of any specific element, we can use this index function. And the next function is there are a lot of functions here. A dot reverse. So let me print. We have one more function called reverse. Reverse function is used to reverse a list. That is a simple definition. So if I run this program, then you can see here. Initially, my list is starting with 900, 10, 600 because I have declared my list like this. After using reverse function, you can see here all the elements present inside my list got reversed. So in for the line number 84, I am getting output as 10.63. So the point is you can see this clearly. Reverse function is used to reverse an entire list. So all the elements will get reversed if we use reverse function. So before performing reverse operation and after performing reverse operation, you can clearly see the difference. So this is one more function in list. So after that we have next let us discuss about count. So here now I will declare a new list. So I will give the variable name also as new list. And inside this list, I am having some random integers like this. So now these are some of the, I have some of the integers present inside my new list. So here, there is a function called count. So this count is used to, or else I can say this count will return the count of an element inside a list. If I say print new list dot count, now our function is count, right? New list dot count of 10. And if I run this program, and we can see here I got output as 1 because this element 10 is present inside this list and it is present only one time. It is not repeating anywhere else. So if I repeat the element 10, so here now you can see here the element 10 is in three places. If I run this program now, you can see here I got output as 3 because 10 is present 3 times inside this list. 10 is repeating 3 times inside this list. So this count function will give the count of an element present inside our list. So these are all simple functions only. By reading at the name of the function only, you can simply understand what it is going to perform. So this reverse function is used to reverse a list, and with the help of index function, we can access the index number of any element. And the pop function will delete lost element from the list, and the clear function will delete all the elements from inside a list. And with the help of insert function, we can insert we can insert any element at a specific position at a specific index number. So with the help of extend function, we can add multiple elements to a list. And with the help of append function, we can add single element to a list at the end of the list to be more specific. So after completion of this session, you just go through all these functions once again. I am going to share that GitHub link once again in the group anyways. So now I hope you understood the count function. And also we have another function called as sort. You all know sorting, right? From ascending order to descending order. Here you can see my list. My list is not in sorted order. Um, First I am having 10, 80, and after 80 I am having 60. So you all know the basic meaning of sort, right? So this sort function is used to sort a list. It arranges elements inside a list from ascending order to descending order. That is from smallest number to largest number. If I say new list dot sort, and if I print my new list now, and before performing sort operation, let me print my new list once again. So first I am printing the list, and after that I am performing sort operation. After that I am printing the list once again. If I run this program now, you can see here all the elements inside the list are now sorted. Like before I am having 10, 80, 60, 70, 10 like this. This is not in ascending order. This is neither in ascending order nor in descending order. So after performing sort operation, you can see here, first I got the smallest numbers like this. Now this list is sorted 6, 10, 10, 10. I am having 10 3 times. So I got this 10 adjacent. So after the 30, 44, 50, I am so now the list is now the smallest numbers are at the beginning of the list and the largest number is at the end of the list after performing sort operation. So this is one more function. Just give me a second. I think there is a way to sort the list in descending order also. I forgot that. Let me check that. Okay, here I need to say reverse equal to true. So yes. So for sorting the list in descending order, we can use this. Here I am saying that inside the sort function, I am mentioning that reverse equal to true, which means after performing sort operation, just reverse the entire list. So now my list is in descending order. You can see here the largest numbers are at the beginning of the list and the smallest numbers are at the end of the list. So this is the thing about sorting and reverse sort and fine. Okay, we have discussed about all the functions available in list. So these are all the functions which are available in list. We can perform sorting, we can reverse a list, and we can perform indexing and slicing. So I hope you all are clear with the inbuilt functions available in list. I have enabled the chat section. So also that's the end of today's class. We have discussed about lists and we have seen how to create an account in HackerRank. Now if you have any doubt, you can let me know. I will stop the recording now.